Herzlich willkommen zurück.
Research is complete. I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Habe ich hier jetzt irgendwas noch, was ich brauche? Oder irgendwas? Ne. Was ist los, Mädel?
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way, then. Thank you, nurse.
Die Leichenhalle. Scheint in die richtige Richtung zu gehen. Hier nicht, okay. Also weit kann die aber nicht mehr sein, ne? Da ist auch irgendwas Wichtiges. Hey. Arschgesichter, ey. Oh, Scheiße. Okay. denn jetzt hin? Warte mal. 73. 69. 59. Warte mal. Da war doch irgendwo. Ja. Weiter. Ich will komplett. Sieh die Leichenhalle. Sieht aber nicht aus wie eine Leiche. Nee. Das ist aber auf jeden Fall nicht die alte Leiche. Nee, hier ist das Krankenhaus wieder. Ich muss da raus. Hier ist aber auch irgendwas, oder? Kleines Fläschchen. Okay.
I cannot enter. Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Hier komme ich nicht weiter. Nee, hier komme ich irgendwie wirklich nicht weiter. Also ich weiß nicht, was das hier bringen soll, aber okay. Da ist irgendeiner. L1. Okay. Sind das auch? Milk und Pieper für immer, okay. Ich irgendwie nicht weiter. Ich weiß nicht, wieso nicht, warum man da hochspringen kann. Kommt dann nicht weiter. Ich verstehe das nicht. Hier ist auch nichts mehr gut. Was ist denn das hier? Was ist das? Bleiben Sie zu Hause. Influenza, häufig von Lungenentzündung begleitet. Bleiben Sie zu Hause, um die spanische Grippe in jedem Fall zu vermeiden. Okay. Ich sage ja, Corona. Corona!
Mr. Pembroke is so lucky to have Dr. Reed around.
Nee, hier bin ich komplett falsch.
If only there were more of us, with less resignation and more determination.
I know I can count. I wish I could say the same.
Pusten Sie hier? Ach so, ja, das habe ich schon gesehen. Hier war ich doch drin, ne? Wegen der Grippe nimmt dieses Krankenhaus keine weiteren Patienten auf. Das Krankenhaus ist voll. Bitte kehren Sie wieder heim. Wie nett. Hier ist wieder Krankenhaus. Ich muss hier raus. Ich bin hier falsch. Offizielle Gesundheitswarnung an alle Bürger Londons. Ausgangssperre. Offizielle Gesundheitswarnung. Die Ausgangssperre wird um 21 Uhr durch das Lauten des Kirchenglocken verkündet. Allen Bürgern ist es verboten, bis 5 Uhr morgens auf die Straße zu gehen. Alter, das ist wirklich Corona. Bis auf Weiteres gilt, eine Sperrstunde wurde für die gesamte Stadt verordnet. Alle müssen Masken tragen, um die Verbreitung der Infektion zu stoppen. Sollte einer dieser Mitglieder ihren Hausarzt erkranken, informieren sofort die Behörden. Wegen der Ausgangssperre nicht nach 21 Uhr geöffnet. Ich sag ja, Corona, Alter. Dead inside. Alles klar. Stecken.
Burn it, boys!
Hau ab. Ist die kleine Schwanz so schon der Drecksmann?
It's locked.
Okay, komme ich nicht weiter. Ist auch irgendwas? Pillendose, das ist schon mal gut. Okay, der braucht anscheinend mehr Hilfe. Kommt warum? Warte. Da war aber was. Ach so. Achtung, ein gefährlicher Bürger überlebt die nächste Nacht vielleicht nicht. Sieh mal nach ihm. Drücke X, um vorzufahren. Hier komme ich nicht rein. Hey, ey, lass die Frauen ruhig, ihr kleinen schwanzlutschenden Wichskinder, Alter! Was, ihr Hurensöhne, seid ihr denn? Komm her, du! Wichser! Schwanzlutscher! Wichser! Petition für Details. Wo ist die denn? Hier ist nichts. Okay, warte mal, was war da? Das heißt, irgendwo muss die hier sein, oder? Komm her, du Schwanzlutscher! Komm her! Du kleiner Wichser!
Get away from me! Don't touch me with your disgusting hands! What happened? Who are you?
It's all right, sir. You're safe now.
Oh, a fellow Englishman. Thank you, sir. For a moment, I thought those bloody heathens had killed me.
What are you doing here? This place is not safe.
Yeah, it's a cesspool, but it's mine. I came to collect some overdue rent, but those who still live here have gone completely bonkers.
You're very lucky to be alive.
Yeah, filthy immigrants. Fucking savages, every one of them. And now with this bloody fever, they're just animals.
You can find safety of sorts in Whitechapel. If you're quick and cautious, you'll be able to avoid the savages.
Was ein Bürgerrat. Bis zum nächsten Nacht wird er in den Bezirk zurückgekehrt. Ist er in seinem Bezirk zurück? Drücke für Details. Nee.
This is Braille.
Text
I
in
need someone who
Blindenschrift.
can read this.
Hier ist aber auch noch irgendwas, oder?
You had better return to Whitechapel without delay. It will be safer there.
Safety isn't really an issue in Whitechapel, because you never are. Never have been. The old place is falling to pieces. But thank you for the advice, sir.
Drücke R2. Erkältung. L1. Loslassen. Lass ihn in Ruhe. musst du selber wissen, Junge. Musst du klarkommen. Hier noch irgendwas. Ja, hier wurde ziemlich übelst gewütet, Alter. Ach, da bin ich hergekommen, okay. Ne, da ist nichts mehr. Können wir abhauen. Muss irgendwie hier oben rauskommen. Bin da irgendwo hier oben reingekommen, oder? Ne, hier komme ich aber nirgendwo raus. Runter. Okay, hier ist eine Blutspur wieder. Ist auch eine Blutspur. Blutspur, Blutspur, Blutspur. Ne, hier komme ich wieder nicht durch. Hier war ich schon, da komme ich nicht weiter. Da war ich doch auch, oder? Ja, da war ich, da gehe ich direkt wieder raus. Irgendwie komme ich immer ein bisschen durcheinander. Und wieder raus. Und tschüss. Da hinten ins Tor kann ich nicht gehen. Hier auch nicht. Raus hier, weg hier. ...137... 117... 69... Nee, hier nicht. Hier muss irgendwo das sein, was ich suche. Was auch immer es ist. Quarantäne. Okay. Quarantäne. Ansteckende Krankheit. Da komme ich nicht weiter. Aber irgendwo hier muss ich rein, oder? Was für ein Scheiß. Hier rein? Ja. Hier auch nicht. Wir gucken, ob der Schlüssel passt. Ne. Das muss doch die Leichenhalle sein, oder nicht? Sieht auf jeden Fall so aus. Kann ich aber nicht rein. Ne, oder? Ich gehe nochmal gucken, ob ich hier irgendwo reinkomme. Ich muss ja irgendwo rein. Krankenschwestern. Wo ist denn die scheiß Krankenleichenhalle, Mann? Verkündete Brief. Dinge. Wo sind die scheiß Leichenhalle? Aber frag mich nicht, bis ich die jetzt finde. Hier ist keine Leichenhalle.
Pembroke is so lucky to have Dr. Reed about. I met him in
so many times. Oswald, you can't just die like this. Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend. What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. Taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is Nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So I couldn't go after him.
Drücke für das Mutenblatt.
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Okay. In den Kanal. Wie komme ich denn in den Kanal? Hier nicht.
It's locked, all right.
Wie immer. Alles immer verschlossen. Hier war ich doch schon mal, oder? Ja. Jetzt komme ich wieder nach oben. Schlinge.
Miss, please, I feel sick. We've dodged death so many times.
Have you found Oswald?
Not yet, sir. I need more information first.
All right. What do you want to know?
Drücke R2. L2. Wo ist der?
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So I couldn't go after him.
Sure.
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Aber hier ist nichts. Also hier ist auf jeden Fall schon mal nicht. Hier komme ich nicht rein. Irgendwo muss in die Scheißkarte eine... Warte mal, was ist das denn? In die Kanalisation. Also hier ist nirgendwo Kanalisation.
I'm so tired.
60. Nee. Verdammt nochmal. Da war ich. Verdammt nochmal, wo muss ich denn hier hin? Gehen wir hier raus. Betritt die alte Leichenhalle. Ja, wenn ich sie finde, sag ich dir Bescheid. Nee, da war ich schon. Da ist es auch. Ah, ich weiß nicht mehr, wo ich die. Jetzt rückt die alte Leichenhalle. Da war ich auch schon.
I cannot enter.
Ist das denn die richtige? Ist das denn die Leichenhalle dahinter? Das muss doch die Leichenhalle sein hier.
It's locked.
Nee, warte mal. Das sind Briefe, das ist... Okay. Warte mal.
It's locked, all right.
Ja, da komme ich aber nicht rein, Digga. Der hat mir doch einen Schlüssel gegeben. Da bin ich rausgekommen. Naja, ich muss da rein.
I cannot enter.
Will die Alte mich eigentlich verarschen oder was? Kann mich am Arsch lecken, ey.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Mir ist mir riesen zurückgefehlt.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. It's locked.
Ist immer alles verschlossen, ey. Wer hat mir das erklärt? Ich weiß nicht mehr.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Handeln.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Codein. Opium. Kaufen mehrfach. Bestätigen. Das ist schon mal gut. Was ist hier?
It's locked.
Ist sonst noch irgendwas? Da fragt noch mal was.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Ja, 2.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty
Hey, hello.
vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade. I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Ja, was habe ich schon gekauft, ne? Die alte Leichenhalle. Das gibt's doch gar nicht.
It's locked, all right.
Cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about
Mann.
this unfair situation. I may
It's locked.
to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
Ich bin doch eben irgendwie da runtergekommen, ne? Nee, war's hier. Hier kommst du aber nicht weiter. Leck mich am Arsch. Ich muss in die scheiß Leichenhalle. Der hat mir noch einen Schlüssel gegeben. Warum funktioniert das jetzt nicht?
It's locked, all right.
Ich hab doch einen Schlüssel. Ah, Mann, ey.
I cannot enter.
R2, R1, L1. Wie mache ich das jetzt nochmal? L1. L1. Ich habe das doch eben auch hingekriegt. Warte mal.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Wie macht man das jetzt mal? L2. L1. L1 mesimidieren. Mimisieren.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidama.
Funktioniert bei dem irgendwie nicht. Meine Fresse, Alter.
It's locked, all right.
Ich komm da nicht rein, Alter. Milton.
I have wasted too much energy for so little result.
Piper. Ist sie das nicht? Ja.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Das ist der Typ.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Oh.
We've gone to death so many times. Oswald, you can't just die like this.
Verdammt nochmal, wo ist er denn?
Have you found Oswald?
Not yet, sir. I need more information first.
All right. What do you want to know?
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Ich muss irgendwie da runter und dann da gucken. Er muss da irgendwo wissen, wer dein Kollege ist, oder?
It's locked, all right.
Natürlich ist sie locked. Verdammt nochmal, ey. Ich komme hier einfach nicht in irgendeine schwule Kanalisation. Betritt die alte Leichenhalle, ja. Will ich nicht nochmal hoch. Nee, da will ich nicht mehr. Er will mich wieder raus. Ich muss in die andere Richtung. Wenn ich jetzt hier bin, weiß ich nicht mehr, wo ich hin muss. Das ist doch Kotzen, Alter. Das ist nur reine Provokation, Alter. Ohne Scheiß. Ach, fick dich, ich gehe wieder zurück. Aha, 198. Irgendwie hier reinkommen, Alter. Ist nicht normal. Kartellenscheiße. Ja. Und hier komme ich nicht weiter, Alter. Nee. Endlich. Glasfolie. Okay. Ich will erstmal hier überall gucken, ob hier irgendwas noch ist. Dass ich hier nichts vergesse. Okay, hier ist nichts mehr. Hier noch irgendwas? Ne, mir ist nichts mehr. Okay, hier komme ich nicht weiter. Hey, Kollege.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Rein. Hier ist abgesperrt.
Balls of Mars. Fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Meine Fresse. Patrone.
It's locked.
Da war ich schon. Runter. Ich gehe nochmal gerade rein, der war nämlich auch irgendwo, muss ich da eigentlich noch hin? Okay. Irgendwo muss ich da nämlich noch hin? Ach so. Ist das? Ist das die Alte? Hey!
Yes, Doctor?
Please, could you point me in the direction of the morgue again?
It's the large boarded-up building behind the hospital. You can't miss it. The key I gave you will open the small back door to it.
That's all for now, Nurse Crane, thank you.
Da war ich schon. Ne, da bin ich hergekommen.
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Gott sei Dank. Da habe ich einen gesehen. Wo ist der Wichser jetzt? Oh shit.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Hier ist der nächste irgendwo. Machen Sie das viele, ey. Totenschein, Büro der Pathologie im Pembroke Hospital. Untersuchungsbericht. Verstorbener Samuel Connor, Rasse kaukasisch, Geschlecht männlich, Alter 39. Wohnanschrift unbekannt, Beruf Fischer. Todesart natürlich, wahrscheinliche Todesursache schnell fortschreitende Pneumonie aufgrund virusinfizierter Lungenverdichtung, spanische Grippe. Gutachter Dr. Corcon Triples, Schwester Gwyneth Brangan. Name und Unterschrift des medizinischen Gutachters Dr. Corcoran Tippets.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. It's locked.
Natürlich ist es das. Du hast eine neue Art Nebenverhalten. Röste sie und drücke, um Blut zu absorbieren. An der kann ich aber kein Blut absorbieren, oder? Ja, doch. Mundwinkel geöffnet ist. Na, machen wir erstmal Mundwinkel.
Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? The chest was originally open to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So,
Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Okay. Diese Scheiße.
It's locked, all right.
Vergiss es. Wenn es, muss ich irgendwo hier Schlüssel finden. Habe ich denn hier irgendwo einen Schlüssel? Ach du Scheiße.
Skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Okay. Hier komme ich wieder mal nicht weiter. Wieder. Ja, da war ich schon, ne? Hier warst du schon. Hier ist nix. Ne, hier... Du warst doch schon hier. Okay. Da ist irgendwas Wichtiges hier. Wow. Glasfolie, okay. Nee, da war ich schon. Da will ich jetzt nicht hin. Okay. Wer muss weg hier, Alter? Wer hier runter? Runter. Nee, weg hier. Ah, ja, raus. Nee. Wieso werfe ich eigentlich immer in die Richtung? Okay.
Spare your obedience.
Unbekannt, unbekannt, okay. Papa Hawkins. Also was ich jetzt bringe, die mir zu Dorothy Crane. Das ist Papa Hawkins. Aber ich muss Dorothy Crane finden. Dorothy Crane. Alter, okay. Ich mache es selber. Irgendwo muss sie sein. Unbekannt. Dorothy Crane, ja. Irgendwo da draußen.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Krankheiten. Krankheiten verringern die Blutqualität eines Bürgers. Verwende die richtigen Medikamente, um ihn zu heilen. Sprich mit dem Patienten im Zimmer hinter Dorothy, um seinen Gesundheitszustand zu kontrollieren.
You have the right to disapprove of our methods, and you will kindly apologize when you're feeling better.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here, then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
R2. Tut ihre Kehle weh.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some rest, then.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
I never could keep anything from her.
Was mit dir?
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Okay.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
In Ordnung.
As for me.
Ein Verräter im Krankenhaus. Sprich mit Edgar Swansea.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really won't do you any good, you know.
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reed. A simple glance is enough for me to know you have nothing for me to envy.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Arschloch. Dummes Arschloch, warte mal. Wer ist das? Ich muss zu meinem... Hier kann ich wieder mal nicht rein. Wo ist denn sein Scheißbüro denn? Hier war auch noch irgendwas. Hier ist noch irgendwas? Warte. Ne, hier ist nichts. 6 Meter, 7 Meter. Unbekannt. People Hawkins. Seen Heaven. Unbekannt. Dorothy Crane. Unbekannt. Okay, hier ist auf jeden Fall nicht. Muss ich mal in den Büros gucken.
It's locked, all right.
Wer war hier nochmal? Dr. Swansea, der will doch was von mir, oder?
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
I'm a dead man. I was murdered. Now I'm a murderer. Tell me how this is a gift.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Warte, stopp, ich bin nicht mit dir fertig.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
Ich habe Fragen.
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
Über die Boote, über meinen Zustand, über William Bishop.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skald, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
How do Skalds come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skald?
A Skald is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings, and the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
The sun. The morning following my transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke, and my skin blackened.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Where do we stand today?
Well, to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
We'll see each other again soon, Edgar.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plane and cold.
I cannot enter.
I understand you must be very unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife.
Sorry. Das ist ein Typ, ich muss mit der Frau reden. Ja. Hier ist nix, ist nix. Arschloch wieder. Verdammt nochmal, ich muss doch nicht mit dem Typ reden, ich muss mit irgendeiner Alten reden.
Last week, reached me like a book. Never could keep anything from her.
Was ist das?
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Was ist auch so ein Kotzen, ey. Wieso kann ich mich denn jetzt nicht normal bewegen, Alter? Geh weg. Harvey Phillick, unbekannt.
Reached me like a book. The shift never ends. Never could keep anything from her.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Nee, da war ich doch schon. Was ist das? Das ist Door Free? Okay. Ich will nicht mit dem Wichser reden. Ey, wieso kann ich mich denn hier nicht vernünftig bewegen, ey? Jetzt ist was weg. Unbekannt. Alter, kannst du normal laufen oder was, du kleiner Schwanzlutscher, Alter? hier irgendwie raus, aber ich komme hier nicht mehr raus. Oder doch? Aha. Oh, ey. Schwer wie Blei, der Scheiß hier. Nee, da war ich doch schon. Sie sollte draußen bei den Zelten sein. Das ist aber nur der komische Freaker wieder. Akuro oder wie der heißt. Meine Fresse, ey. Hier irgendwo muss die Alte sein. Ist das die Alte, die ich suche? Mel?
So,
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague. We're here to save lives.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
Ach, da ist die Alte.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter.
You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Alte suchen, die ich nicht kenne. Ah, so ist nicht.
It ain't humans!
Erstmal so. Okay. Wie greift man jetzt nochmal an?
It's on to us!
Ich will die immer essen, aber ich weiß nicht, wie das geht. Also aussaugen. Ich weiß nicht mehr, wie das geht.
There's one of them! Watch yourself!
Okay, krass. Ich bin immer noch am Zocken. Ich wollte eigentlich schon lange aufhören. Okay. Okay.
This is Braille.
Text.
I need someone who can read this.
Na toll. Oh, Scheiße. Was war das denn für ein übler Scheiße, Alter? Kann ich den auch beißen? Fuck, Alter. Ja, ich weiß, dass ich besiegt wurde. Mann, nee, ich habe keinen Bock mehr, weißt du was? Ich gehe zurück. Warte, warte mal, das ist falsch rum. Ich muss in die Richtung gehen. Nee, warte mal, hä? Ich gehe wieder zurück. Fick dich, Junge. Ja toll, 3 Leute, Alter. 3 verfickte Hurensöhne. Alter. Es reicht hier aber. Wichskinder, ey. Was für Hurensöhne, oder? Meine Fresse, ey. Ist mir scheißegal. Wichser. Jetzt bin ich angepisst, Alter.
Ain't safe here for a gentleman. Leech spotted. Watch out, boys.
Ich sagte doch, jetzt bin ich angepisst, Alter. Komm her! Wo bist du kleiner Wichser? Da! Da bist du! Kleiner! Dreckiger! Scheiß! Dreckiger! Wichser! Fick dich! Stress oder was? Nein, der nicht. So, hier. Schlägt mich mal. Nein. Wo? Ah, da. Ach du Scheiße. Da komm, ich habe eh keine Chance. Ich muss so oder so kämpfen. Ob ich jetzt mit einem von euch kämpfe oder mit ich beiden, das ist scheißegal. Alter, wie viele von den Freaks gibt denn hier, Alter? Jo, komm. Ah, ne, kein Bock. Okay, Leute, ich bin mal kurz raus, beziehungsweise ich bin raus. Bis dann, ne? Ciao.